Hey everybody, I'm going to be doing another drawing tutorial today, but today's tutorial is going to be a little different from the last couple that I've done. Now today's tutorial is about tessellations. So tessellations are when you use one shape that basically creates a whole pattern, and then each piece of the shape fits into another piece like a puzzle piece. So you're kind of going to create a puzzle with this. Now, I know that probably sounds a little confusing, but I'm going to go through this step by step just so that you can do exactly what I'm doing. Now, the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to get a piece of paper and I want you to make it into a little tiny square. My square is about 4 inches by 4 inches, but it doesn't have to be that size. Like, you can make a rectangle as well. And if you just watch this video and follow along, you'll see why it doesn't really matter too much how big that square is. I wouldn't make it too big though, because if you go any bigger than that, the pattern won't work very well. So I would do 4 inches by 4 inches or smaller if you can. I also have a marker here, I have scissors, and I have tape. So I already have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to do for my pattern. So I'm going to get started and I'm going to draw on one edge of this square. So that's going to be my first step, is you want to make some kind of a design along the bottom of that square. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that with my scissors. I'm just going to cut along that line. Just like that. So now I've cut that out. And now I'm going to put that right on the top. So I took what I just cut out, and now I'm going to put it on the top of that square, just like this. And I'm going to tape it. So that's what the tape is going to be for. You can see mine's not totally perfect, but that's not a big deal. There you go. Now it is perfect. So now that I have that, I'm going to cut from one of these edges. So I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut along this one. And I'm going to do like this. And that. And now I'm going to cut that the same way that I just cut the other piece. You can see my cutting is not perfect, but that's okay. Okay, now that I have that piece, I'm just going to tape it right here. Uh-oh. So now I have my shape, and you can see I just drew that line along the bottom. I cut it out, then I taped it on the opposite side on the top. Then I drew this line over here, and then I cut that out and put it on the opposite side. Now I have my shape. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start tracing this shape along the side of my piece of paper. And I'm just going to move the camera for that. So now you can see my piece of paper. I'm going to take this shape and I'm just going to put it so that the edge is right up against the edge of that paper right here. Oh. And then I'm just going to trace it. So now you can see I have my first trace. Now, if I put this right below there, I can just fit it right in because the bottom is the same as the top, and then I can trace it again. So I'm going to trace it again now. And over here. Now you can see how those two just fit right into each other. Now, if I go over here, I can line this right up with that edge that I created before, and see how all I have to do is put it right next to there, and it just fits perfect like a puzzle piece. So now I'm going to trace my cat design again right there. And you see? And then I can fit it right there. Look at that. It fits just like a perfect puzzle. See how that just fits right over that? Now, if you have a smaller square to begin with, you can make many more of these shapes. I really would suggest doing less than 4 by 4. This was really big because I felt like it would be easier for you to see. So if you want to do this yourself, maybe do it 2 by 2 or 3 by 3, and you'll have a lot more space to make all of these shapes fit into each other like a big puzzle. Now that I have all of this traced, I want you to look at what I have. Now, if I look at this, to me, it looks like a whole bunch of cats or a whole bunch of dogs with a curly tail. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go inside of each one of those and I'm gonna draw a different cat design. So on this one, I would do an eyeball and an eyeball. And I'm gonna do my little pupils with a little white spot. Remember that if you don't add that white spot, these look a little bit dead. You don't want that. Just like that. Okay, now my cat's eyes are done. And cats have these little whiskers right above their eyes, so I'm gonna do those. That's just 3 little quick flicking motions. Now the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the insides of his ears. And to do that, I'm gonna make an M right there. And then I'm gonna make a triangle all around the M. So that just looks like there's a little bit of fuzz right there. Now I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna make my M and then my big triangle all the way around, just like that. So now my cat has got his little ears. Then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give him a little nose. Now to make the nose of a cat, I'm gonna make a very small triangle, just like that. And then I'm gonna give him a nostril here, which is a little black dot, and a nostril here, which is a little black dot. And then I'm gonna make the triangle a little bit bigger and go around. And that looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna make my sideways number 3. And there you have it. Now your cat has a mouth. Now you can also make your little cat's whiskers by going that direction. Now my cat's whiskers would be there, and then I would have more whiskers over here behind this cat's tail. This cat is being awfully friendly considering that the other cat has his tail in his face, but that's okay. And then that would be my first little cat, and if I wanted, I could make some stripes on his tail. And then let's say, I'm wondering if I want any more details inside of that cat. Maybe a stripe here and a stripe here. And then maybe one here and right here. And then I'm gonna make a little tuft of hair right here. Just like that. And that's gonna be my cat's little bit of chest fluff. And then I think that's all I'm going to add to that cat. I think that's all he really needs. So then you would do your next cat. So let's do this cat right next to him. And let's change this one up. So maybe this cat is a little bit grumpy about this cat's tail being in his face. So this time, instead of making the perfect circles, I'm gonna make a circle, but then the top is gonna be a little bit angled like that. Then I'm gonna make the other one, and then he's gonna have a little angry expression there. And he's gonna be looking at that cat because that cat's tail is right in his face. I'm gonna make his pupils. Oh man, he looks really grumpy. And then I'm gonna give him his little cat eyebrows or eyebrow whiskers, whatever you wanna call them. Then once I do those, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna do the M in the ear. I'm gonna do the big triangle around it. I'm gonna do another M over here, and then the big triangle. And then I'm gonna do his nose. So remember what we did last time. We're gonna do a triangle with a dot here and a dot here, and then we'll draw top. And then I'm still gonna do my sideways number 3. And on this one, instead of just doing this little thing, so on this one, this is the chin, but on this one, I'm actually gonna make that look like it's more like a tongue, like he's going bleh towards the one that's got his tail in his face. And then I'm gonna do the little bitty chest fluffy. And then that's all I'm gonna do for that cat, because I'm gonna pretend like he would be just one color. Now I'm gonna do this cat down here. So I'm gonna do another eye. And this cat's gonna be happy as well. And he's gonna be looking up at his friend that's right above him. And then I think this one's not gonna have eyebrow whiskers. This one I'm gonna totally change up. And this one I'm gonna draw a squiggly line like that because this cat is a couple of different colors. So instead of just being one color like this one or stripes like this one, I'm gonna have this one have a totally different patch of color. And then maybe I'll even have him be 2 patches of color like that. And then I'm gonna draw his nose right here, his little nostrils. I'm gonna have his sideways number 3. And there's his chin, just like that. And then I'm gonna do my letter M, fill in those ears. And then I will still give this guy whiskers, just not the eyebrow ones. And then I think he's pretty good there. Maybe I could give him another color. Oh, I forgot his little chest fluffy. And then I'll add his little spot to his tail. And I think that's good. And then the next one I'm gonna do is this one right here. And I'm gonna start with the eyes. And I think I'm gonna make this one look at the cat that's right above him too. Oh, that I got a little bit bigger. That's okay. So I'm gonna do both of these looking up. And I'm gonna do his eyebrow whiskers. Just like that. And now I'm gonna make his nose. Sideways number 3. And then I'm gonna come up into this ear. Oops, I didn't do my M first, but that's okay. Give him a chin, some whiskers, and his little fluffy part on his chest. And now I have a whole bunch of different cats. And if I wanted, I could even go to these ones down here and just give him a little bit of detail, even though it's not really necessary because you can't see too much of him. But we want to make sure that you have all the details that you need. Just like that. All right. And that's how you would create a tessellation. So you can see all of those cats come together and they all look totally different. Then you can color this however you would like. I hope this helped y'all learn how to draw a tessellation today, and I hope that your drawings came out pretty cute. You can either copy me or just use this as a reference on how to make your own tessellation with your own totally different shape and maybe different creatures.